Sports stories from the 419 in Northwest Ohio, brought to you by a voice you know. It's time to go around the area and around the Hearn.
Hello there, and welcome to a special edition of Around the Hearn. Why is it special, you ask? Well, that's because it's the final episode of the spring. State championships for baseball finishing up this weekend. Softball finished up last weekend. Unfortunately, the Lincoln View ladies not able to bring home the big gold trophy, but super proud of them. They fell 3-2 in the state finals. Ashlyn Price was thrown out at the plate to end the game. They had a chance to win that one, and that's all you can ask. Big guests on tap this week. Kevin Phlipot, the head coach of the Russia Raiders, who, as I sit here in about 8 hours in Akron, will be in the state semifinals against Newark Catholic. And New Bremen graduate and Baldwin Wallace standout Luke Vonderhaar on to talk about his story about his grandpa and about how he hit a ton of home runs for a team that reached the D3 College World Series. All of that on tap, but I would be remiss if I did not start this episode with a piece of sad news. Tyler Mescher, who was a 23-year-old young man who attended Bowling Green State University and Marion Local High School, passed away this past week. And I'm not going to pretend that I knew him, but I got to see him during sports with football and basketball, and it was so much fun during Marion Local's run to a state championship in 2018. I loved watching him. The kid had an infectious smile and just a personality to match. My wife and I would see him and his family when he would go to Ohio Northern to support his sister, who was playing for the Bears. And it was just so cool. I just love being around the kid, being in the same orbit. You could tell everybody loved him, and he was just that guy that everybody wanted to be around. He was drawn to everybody. And I found this as I was going through and looking for something to say about the young man. And it's part of that state championship game, a double overtime win for the Flyers. And I remember talking to a lot of these kids and their head coach, Kurt Guttemiller, after the game, both on the floor and in the press conference and all that, and just the smile from ear to ear because Tyler hit 2 free throws to even the game and give his team a 1-point lead in that state championship game. And this is what myself and Denny Sisko sounded like that day on at K94.
2.6 seconds to go. After the free throw line, expect what he wants from the basketball. Puts it up, and I didn't go to church tomorrow. I didn't think there was any way that ball was going in. Wow. You better go to church tomorrow to thank the Lord for that one. 51-51 here in Double OC. 2.6 left, and how about this for the senior? I don't think you're getting a timeout at least before it.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
One of 3 players at double figures with Mescher with 17. And inspects the ball, puts white Nikes in use, up and in.
Yeah.
1 shot left, 2 points.
Big fans are on their feet and loving every minute of it. They are loud.
So a team that had 2 free throws, even attempted, going into overtime, has put 4 of the biggest free throws of their entire season on the board in double OT from 2 of their biggest players.
And the other thing is, the 1 free throw they missed, Nathan Bruns got the rebound and put it back in.
This place is absolutely pandemonium. On the right side of the floor, if they're wearing blue and gold, they are jumping out of their seats. There are Marion fans, as far as I can see, that they're not even using their seat. And what I love about it is some of my favorite people, Marty Bannister's back behind me, and he's doing these games for the OHSA Network. He's got his phone out. He's enjoying the atmosphere. And it's just, if you cannot love high school basketball for this, we can't be friends.
Yeah, this is what it's all about.
I'm so glad that we're able to do this game. 52-51, Marion Local with the basketball. They're reminding Cornerstone Christian they can run the length of the baseline. They're trying to tell the Marion Local kids, this is one time you need to chill. Just sit down on the bench.
Marion needs to know where Michael Boswell is going to be because he's going to get the basketball right now. He's at center court.
With 2.6 seconds, it'll be Jeremy Owens who will inbound the basketball, but not until the final countdown stops here in Columbus. Everybody with their cameras, the heavy video cameras across the way. The great Mike Hartsock trying to say, yeah, we're tired of carrying this around. He literally had this look of exasperation on his face, but man, something's got to give here.
Turn it again to a timeout festival.
So, hey, if you got them, take them.
Yep.
Nobody has any timeouts left.
And everybody, I think, is on their feet.
If you got a seat, you're not using it.
Yeah.
Dennis, this is not what is great about prep athletics. I don't know what to tell you. People say high school sports is boring. Now, right now, it's not.
Well, without guys singing in the background, how can it be boring? Now they've changed. Michael Bothwell is going to inbound the basketball, so nice move by Cornerstone.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Bruns will try to pick it up. You got to believe maybe to Ricky Adams, or as quick as you could possibly get it right back to Bothwell.
He stepped over the line
It's
almost.
go that way. It'll be into the hands of Titus Wheeler from half court for the win. No!
How about that, partner?
The Marion local Flyers are the Division 4 state champions. 52-51 here in double overtime.
And all of that with the passing of Tyler Mescher, a life gone too soon. I saw in the notes for his obituary that he was going to teach young kids at Spencerville. And as a Spencerville graduate and somebody who was a part of that community, there would not have been a better soul to be in charge of those kids. Just a tragedy, and my thoughts and prayers with his family and friends, and just not a better soul can you find. All Ohio lists coming out for baseball and softball in the last week. Division 4, honorable mention, Lima Central Catholic's Connor Gephardt. Fort Loramie kicks off the second team honors with Derek Meyer. Lincoln View's Carson Fox, Vince Hulse from New Bremen, Aiden Lichtensteiger from Crestview, and Carter Ringwald from Spencerville, all named to the second team. St. Henry standout Nolan Schmidt's first team, Caleb Neese, the PCL Player of the Year, also on the first team list with Luke Krause from Antwerp, and Lincoln View's Landon Price will be the D4 Player of the Year. Other first team honors, DJ Newman, the three-sport athlete from Archbold, joined on the honorable mention list by his teammate in Creighton Kern. Defiance duo of Jaden Jerger and Jacob Howard, both on the first team list, joined by their teammate David Jimenez on second team. Evan Rader from Riverdale, second team. Reese Dellinger from Coldwater, and Cole Comiso, second team and first team respectively. Defiance head coach Tom Held, the coach of the year. Softball teams, all Ohio. First team honors in Division 2 going out to St. Mary's pitcher Carson McLothin. Eva Irons, second team for Elida. Second team for Shawnee is Kaylee Grant and Danny Ross. Chloe Dorn, second team. Tara Frischner, second team in Division 3. First team honors McKenna Hoying from Russia. In Division 4, Kay Mutendorf from Grove Parkway's Madison Louth. Addie Inskeep, a freshman from Minster, second team. Kendall Bolenbacher of Lincoln View, a second team. Riley Hammonds from Russia, all second team. And again, these are just the ones that I saw that were put up or that were sent to me. If I missed some, I apologize. This is all that I could find. These aren't always easy to do. Michaela Jackman from Lincoln View, Caitlin Slade from Wayne Trace, and Aubrey Baker from Fort Loramie, all honorable mention. WBL All Sports Trophy went to Shawnee this year. 8.5 points better than Ottawa Glandorf. St. Mary's ends up finishing third with the success of the Indians programs last year. State track, best that I could find. Again, I apologize if I missed something, but it's just a one-man band of me trying to find these things here. Ottawa Glandorf Jr. Alexa Fortman celebrated not only her birthday last Saturday, happy birthday to her, but also won 2 state titles. One in the 400 meters, and then with a state record time, she beat her own school record just 25 minutes later in the 800. OG girls, 5th in the 4x800 relay with Fortman, Maddie Hovest, Olivia Fenbert, and Rose Turnwald in that group. Discus in Division 2, Isabella Granger. Liberty Benton got second. Emma Hoffman from OG got third. The sophomore, Amelia Lutz from Salina got 4th. Tatum Miller from Kenton got 5th. Minster's 4x800 relay team of Margaret Hemmelgarn, Cameo Cedarleaf, Cheney Cedarleaf, and Taylor Roth won the Division III title, followed by Loramie and Coldwater in 2nd and 3rd, Kalida and Bremen in 7th and 9th, respectively. Karis Willow, 5th in the high jump for Liberty Benton. Connor Douglas, the senior from Elida, finished 8th in the Division I pole vault as he cleared 14 feet. Fort Loramie's Jess Albers finished 2nd in the shot put, the 800, and then 3rd in the 400 in the seeded division of those championships. And a young man that, well, he rewrote a lot of record books, not only the state, but Perry's record books and anyone that you can pretty much find. Brady Yingst of Perry, 2 titles, one on the Division III 1,600 meters, one on the 3,200 meters. And he also broke the 3,200-meter record and won by 8 seconds, which I'm not a track aficionado, but I'm told that's very good. Talked to him, actually. He provided some interviews for the TV broadcast, and he's going to come on the show in the next couple of weeks and school me about how good the Yingst family is at everything. Macomb's Kevin Bailey finished 2nd in the state long jump. Justin Richards from Anna was 6th. Evan Unruh from LCC finished in 7th. Claire Rathman of Fort Recovery finished 2nd behind the winner in her race. Aaliyah Johnson, the 5th individual champion and 6th overall state title winner with the boys basketball team winning last year at Botkins, won the discus gold. New Knoxville's Avery Henshin finished 4th. Molly Winter from Marion Local, D3 shot put champ, 43 feet. Whitley Rammel from Fort Recovery finished 3rd. Lily Barhorst from Minster finished 5th. Wayne Trace, 4x400 state title winners over Coldwater and Minster in 2nd and 4th, respectively. Rachel Stoller, Kiera Bahena, Gracie Shepard, and Sydney Sin, the members of that team. Sin, then not that much longer, picks up the 400-meter dash title in Division III. Peyton Heitmeyer from Leipzig finished 4th. Coldwater's Tyler Schwiedeman, another good outing for him. 2nd straight 300-meter hurdles gold medal. It's late, I can't say words. Kellen Schlagbaum of Vaudeville finished 5th, just behind Joseph Slonsky of Minster and Ethan Bogart from Bluffton. The 2 other All-Ohio picks that I was looking for earlier on, Jaden Jerger from Defiance and Jacob Howard, also from Defiance, finishing 1st. So congratulations to all of those athletes for what they did during the spring, and good luck to them, all the seniors that are graduating. Coming up, we'll talk to Kevin Phlipot, the head coach at Russia, and Luke Vonderhaar from Baldwin Wallace here on Around the Hearn.
Spring has sprung, Eric McCracken.
You bet it has. That's why we're doing some spring cleaning around here at Lee Kinsel's.
What kind of spring cleaning, Eric?
Oh, you know, making sure the lot is tidy and, of course, full of new and pre-owned vehicles like Chevys, Buicks, and GMCs.
Yeah, but don't you do that all year round?
We try to, but it's been hard to get Danny the Dealmaker to stay outside in those sub-freezing temperatures.
I get that. So I suppose it's also easier for the customers to look around on the lot when there's not sub-freezing temperatures.
You got that right. Here at Lee Kinsel's, we want you to take your time when you're out looking for the vehicle of your dreams.
Hey, where is Danny the Dealmaker right now anyway?
He's back in the back, putting his shirt on. He got so excited about spring he wore a tank top to work, and now nobody wants to see that.
Whoa, you got that right. Lee Kinsel, GM Sales and Service in Van Wert. Call 866-LEE-KINSEL. Shop online at leekinsel.com or stop in at 650 West Irvin Road. They'll leave their shirts on for you.
For the state Final Four this weekend at Talking Russia baseball with the head coach and Kevin Phlipot. And Kevin, 2 big wins last weekend. Place you guys are obviously really familiar with at Princeton. Same venue you fell last year, but 2 big good wins over really good teams this weekend.
Yeah, we were fortunate to come out against the opponents we had. Southeastern, don't know a whole lot about them, but they had some good quality pitching there, and we were able to battle through that and come out ahead. We had 1 big inning, and really that's all we needed. Just in that, then Fort Laramie. I mean, that's our league rival, our biggest win, the team that we lost to last year. So that was the game we've been waiting for, and that rematch. And that was as sweet as it gets to come out on top after that.
Well, and kind of an odd thing because the way that the round robin in your league works. You see Laramie twice in your first 4 games, but you haven't seen him in almost a month and a half, other than being able to kind of watch what they did in the semis on Thursday. Did you prepare differently for them? I mean, because it had been so long since you had played them last.
No, we didn't prepare. I mean, anything different. It was we knew what we were going to get from that. I mean, regarding to the schedule, is just because one game was rained out, and then we were scheduled a regularly scheduled game, and the rescheduled were just like within, I don't know, less than a week of each other. So yeah, it was kind of odd to go so close to it, but we're familiar enough. I mean, we play 2 then 3 times a year, meeting up a lot in tournament over the past, so we're familiar, and so we kind of know what we're going to get.
You get a 7-1 win. They out-hit you, but 8 total errors in that game with just balls not playing right. 8 errors seems like a lot.
It was no, it was not the cleanest of games. I mean, we had our own mistakes early, but we battled through that, and obviously, I think we had 3 double plays in that game. I mean, we did not get a leadoff batter out until the 7th inning, so they had the leadoff man on the first 6 innings of the game. So, but we managed to get through that. The 3 double plays were huge, and we settled down, and then we just started, doing what we do, is just try to keep the pressure on them. And they had some tough plays, and then they did, kick a few balls, but there were some others. It's just routine plays that, or in between plays that they didn't quite make. And then we got the big inning, and they were pressing, and they tried to do a couple things to force a few things, but it's just uncharacteristic of them.
Obviously, personally how good Xavier is, but I was impressed with reading his box score. He goes through those 7 innings, only throws 81 pitches, gives up the 1 run, but his command was so good. I mean, 61 strikes and 81 pitches, 20 out of 28 first pitch strikes. It just seemed like he was completely dialed in. That
is what we usually get out of him. Not overpowering, but he just has great command. Good curveball, can throw a changeup. And once that pitch is working, just not many high school kids can hit a changeup. They can't even see it. You don't see it very well. And honestly, against Southeastern, that kid threw a changeup and gave us fits. So it wasn't until the 3rd, 4th, whatever, till our first time through the batting order, then we weren't sniffing it. But then we just broke through there. So, but back to Friday for Xavier, it was he was just himself. And yes, they hunted a few fastballs. We made a few mistakes. They got hits early on, but he just stayed at it, consistent. And the off-speed pitches kids usually reach for, roll over on, and that was what was getting the ground ball double plays.
Jude has that big hit, that double, that helps kind of open you guys up. You got hits, individual hits from a lot of different kids. But at what point in that 4-run inning did that game sort of turn right there that you kind of said, okay, I feel pretty good about where we are the last 5 innings?
I'm not sure. Not 4 runs wasn't enough. But, you're never confident, never 100% sure, but somewhere in there, I can't answer that. But just knowing that we finally had a big inning. I mean, we faced Meyer. This is the 3rd time, 4th, 5th time in the past couple years. And last year, he shut us out a couple times, and we beat him at Rushi the first time, but we really only got 1 big hit. Braylon Cadania had a bases loaded 2-out triple. You take that hit out of it, we may not win. We may not be league champs. Second game, he pretty much won. We got 1 run, and he shut us down. So I was never overconfident at any one point with him on the mound, but I just wanted to keep adding on, and that was our focus. That we weren't confident with the 4 runs. We got to add on. They're not going to give up.
I think that you guys, from an outsider, just looking at your pitching numbers, are a little bit different than a lot of teams because you essentially have, I don't want to say 1 through 4, but 1, 1A, 1B, 1C, so to speak, that it's unusual to have 4 guys who have thrown 24 innings or more who all have more than 20 strikeouts an ERA under 3.1. It's got to be, I would think, a huge thing for you as a coach to know, all right, I don't just have one guy that we can go to. If he's in trouble, I've got 3 or 4 guys.
No, and that's the way we've been. Pitching and defense is what has gotten us. And in the past, I mean, this is the 5th year in a row we've been to regionals. You take out COVID, we've won 5. Been in the regionals 5 consecutive years, 6 out of 7 since I've been here. So it's just whether our teams have been good enough to hit. Kind of depends on how far we've gone. But Grant Saunders, who's our number 1, he didn't pitch the first half of the year, just trying to get healthy. So that just gave a lot of more innings to other guys, and that's why Xavier Phlipot became the 1 man for that time, and that gave Braylon Cadonier, Ross Fissinger, a bunch more innings. And obviously, you see their numbers; they were just as good as they got us through until Grant was ready to go. And once we were 8-5 through 13 games, and then which is fine. But after Grant became healthy and started pitching, our final 17 games were 15-2.
I mean, that's pretty good, as I understand it.
It'll get you it'll get you go places.
Well, I would think takes a little bit of. I know a lot of coaches this time of year when you get to district regionals and state where they have a 1 and a 2, and they constantly obsess over, do I throw the best guy in the semis because if we don't get to the finals, it doesn't matter, or vice versa. But I mean, like we were saying, you've got pretty much a buffet of things you can do as options.
That helps out. I mean, if with other teams, it depends who your number 2 is. It depends on how good a hitting team you are, who you're facing. If you know those things. But yeah, I am with having Xavier there because we discussed it. We thought Larmy would throw, you could say, backwards, and then they held off their number 1 for the finals. But we were confident that let's just get there. Xavier can beat anybody. He really can. We're just as confident. Different kinds of pitcher. Grant throws a lot harder, but Xavier is a more complete pitcher. That there's no reason to just try to outthink things. Just go our best pitcher we got that day.
When you get ready and you kind of look into the tournament, you look at what you've got with Newark Catholic on a Thursday. They've got big hitters, 6 of the top 8 hitters in their lineup, all hitting 360 or more. But it's their power of what they've been able to showcase through the year. A lot of guys with 1, 2, 3 home runs. I mean, do you look at that any different, or do you assume that your guys are just going to kind of go after them the way they have everybody else?
My philosophy is, yes, I look at the numbers, I look at stats, and you know what? I see our stats, and you see some of these pitching numbers and guys striking out more than 1 an inning, and he's not a power pitcher. He's a finesse pitcher. But, if you just look at the stats, you think he's throwing 85 mile an hour because he's all these strikeouts. But stats can skew things. But So I'm not a huge stat guy. I just want to know who their best hitters are, who's, do they got big base stealing numbers? Are they going to run or whatnot? Because, these are high school kids. I mean, you can put a scouting report together, but that kid's not going to, you can say a kid can't hit a curveball. Well, if my kid can't throw a curveball, then it's pointless, So we'll play to our strengths, do what we do well, and just prepare ourselves for any situation that might come up in the ball game.
That is kind of an important thing. I never really thought about it that way, and that's something so simple. He can't hit a curveball. Who cares? My kid doesn't throw a curveball.
Yeah, exactly. So what high school kid can hit a consistent curveball? If you watch it, that's the why thing. You see some of these schools struggle. Oh, this kid doesn't throw hard. He just throws junk, and we can't hit it. Well, because he can throw a curveball for a strike, you'll go places. Because it's just you don't practice it. What do you practice in practice? You practice hitting off of a fastball on a machine, and that's really all you get. Or just BP from short distance throwing a fastball, because kids, you don't consistently see that. So and it just kind of portrays into the game.
When you just kind of take a look, I don't know how closely you follow the rest of the state, but when you look at Division IV the way that it's come down to Tiffin Calvert and Lincoln View on the other side, you guys in Newark Catholic. Does any of that surprise you? I mean, is there anybody there that you just kind of went, I knew they'd have to get on a good run, but here we are?
The only one, well, obviously Newark Catholic's the name that never surprises anybody. I don't follow them, but I've been every year I've been to state. We went through Newark Catholic. I've been a part of Fort Laramie for 14 years. We won 2 state titles there. Both the wins were against Newark Catholic. 2017, when Rushi went to state, the state runner-up, we beat Newark Catholic in the regional final. So they're always there. You look through at that. So that doesn't surprise me if their record says they're good or if it's what it is. They play against a bunch of big schools in their conference. So their record is regardless. They're always going to be there. Lincoln View, I have followed. I've seen them play a little bit. I know they got the Price kid, and they got a heck of a number 2 as well. So those 2 schools doesn't surprise me. No, for Tiffin Calvert, I don't know much about it. I know that has a name that I've heard in the past, and they got a program as well.
It kind of helps right now in Tiffin. I mean, they've got Columbia and Calvert playing in the Final Four. They're having a pretty good weekend up there.
Yes.
A little bit different. I want to ask you, because I'm always fascinated with coaches about this. You go out and you don't make a pitching change, but you have a conversation with your kid. Eric Fishpaw has famously told me, the head coach at Lincoln View, that he doesn't always go out and talk baseball. Sometimes he gives them a breathing exercise or tells really poor jokes. I mean, what's your style when you go out there?
No, I don't do that. I have heard that and, kind of break the ice, but I'm more of a try and just break the momentum. If things aren't going well, just try to get back, take a breather. If it's been a long inning, if it's 90 degrees out, hey, just catch a breath here. Let's just take a moment to regroup, and I just reassess things. We got runners, second on third, let's just one runner less, damage control, or let's just focus on get the batter out. Then we get that batter out. Let's get the next batter out and just try to make it as simple as possible. We're probably, if I'm going out to the mound, it's probably not a good situation. Something's happening. So just try to simplify it. And it's, if you can throw strikes, it's an easy game. So you just try to let these kids get, it's not that hard. We just got to, throw strikes, let them do it. You got 8 guys behind you ready to help you out and that type of thing. So just try to simplify things and just get them just to refocus on the little things. Forget about the big picture that the bases are loaded or what the score is. It's just like, get the next batter out and we're good to go.
When Xavier sees you coming, does he just kind of turn and just go away? Leave me alone.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't need this. Just don't come out here.
It's not an issue. It's not an issue at all.
What are you looking forward to this weekend? Obviously, I asked this to a handful of teams, and their answer was winning. So obviously, other than winning, what are you looking forward to this weekend?
Other than winning, that's a great answer.
Hey, it came from a 16-year-old girl. I was impressed that was her first thing. That's
her go-to. Yeah. She was coached up to tell how to do an interview. It's our goal. I always say there's 2 types of teams. Okay, whether it's one of a school that's not used to the tradition of going to state, is their goal is to get to state. They're excited about getting to state. Obviously, everybody's excited about it, but are we going to be excited about getting to it? Or are we going to, go there for a reason to win 2 ball games? So that's kind of the mindset we're at. But other than that, it's the experience. I mean, the bus ride home with the fire trucks bringing us into town. That's a moment kids will never forget. Going up there, I'm not familiar with this field, but we played at Huntington in 2017, and I'm sure it's very comparable to the new ballpark in Akron. That just, the stage is just so much bigger. It's, you get on the field and just kind of look at it. And what I usually say is, unless you're getting paid to play this game, all right, this is the best field you'll ever play on. So just kind of take in the moment. Hopefully we can get there early enough to walk around, look at everything, and then But once we get on the field, once, get down on it, it's game time. It's time to be focused and go to work, as I say.
I would think, but I'll ask you this anyways. Town is just going to officially be closed on Thursday for about 4 or 5 hours, right?
There'll be a few people there.
No
okay?
entry, no exit through town?
Well, there's not many people in town to begin with.
Right.
But, it's disappointing that it's 3.5 hours away, that it can't be in Columbus, with, more centrally located, more fan friendly. So that's the biggest, issues we have in our neck of the woods, having to drive clear across state and all that. And that does hinder some of the people's plans, but there is a tremendous amount right now where everybody's trying to find hotel rooms and go through all that and prepare for it. But there'll be a lot of people making the trip.
It'll be like Indianapolis. Everybody's just keeping it even though their team's gone.
Correct.
I'm like, wait a second. We only have 800 people. We don't need that many rooms.
Yes.
I mean,
just in case.
You could probably get by with like 30 or 40. Everybody's related. You could just sleep on the floor.
There's a lot of families going together, rooming together. That is correct.
Well, and here's kind of another thing is wrap this up. I'm curious. You guys you play Thursday morning. Would you?
Correct.
Are you planning? Obviously, planning on that you win Thursday. Are you guys planning on staying the whole weekend, or do you go home, practice Friday, and come back? How does that work?
That is the big question. That was, Ben, what are you doing? Do we do this? Do we that? We floated it back and forth, but we are staying. We're staying until we lose. We're 3.5 hours away, so we are leaving Wednesday, getting there, spending the night Wednesday night, and we are not coming home. Well, and honestly, we have, it's funny, I have a kid, Grant Saunders, is going to play at Wallace College, which is in Canton. I don't know, just not too far of a drive.
It's not that far.
And we have scheduled a workout, and I'm not getting ahead of myself. Reached out to their coach, and Newark Catholic coach knows him as well. So both whoever wins our game is staying up there, and they're going to be practicing at Walsh on Friday morning. We already have that, scheduled out and ready to go. Some of those things you just got to plan ahead for, because if you wait too long, you might miss that opportunity.
Yeah, I mean,
but we'll stay. We're going to stay up there. We're going to practice, get the kids up in the morning, and then there's games to watch all day long. So we'll keep them occupied. Parents are a little concerned about staying that long, but it's part of the experience. It's if we come home, that's 7 extra hours on a bus.
Right.
Nobody wants that.
But if you come home with a giant gold trophy, no one will remember any of it.
That'll be worth it. That's correct.
But I mean,
that's the light at the end of the tunnel.
20 miles between Walsh and Canal Park, so I mean, you'll be okay.
Yes, exactly.
Well, awesome. I thank you so much for doing this, and I hope you guys have all the luck in the world this weekend.
Well, it's my pleasure. I thank you as well. I enjoyed it.
We'll talk more about baseball and everything else coming up here in just a few. Tag Van Wert on 118 is under new ownership. Tag now provides unique ladies' boutique clothing, along with a great men's selection of casual dress clothes and suits. If you need a suit for your big day, or a tux rental for that special occasion, call Shada Mosier and her staff at 419-232-8247 and book an appointment today. Tag Van Wert is also the largest Hey Dude supplier in and around the Van Wert area, with more than 20 different styles in stock. Hours of operation are Tuesday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., and Saturday, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Stop in soon at 10276 OH118 in Van Wert to check out this great new selection. Taking a bigger look at the high school game through the lens of the college game in New Bremen and Baldwin, Wallace standout Luke Vonderhaar off a terrific season, hit 19 home runs and led a team to the College World Series in Baldwin Wallace for just the second time. It's been a really good year for you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, it has.
You guys get that opportunity. We were just talking before we started doing this. Obviously, it ended a little more early than you guys would have liked in the College World Series. But, I mean, just getting to that point is got to be a heck of a dream for where you guys had been building to the last couple of years.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it was an incredible ride. And, I think back to it, and we were one of 18 teams in the whole country that didn't win their conference that got an at-large bid to even be in a regional in the postseason. So, even when we went to New York to play in the Brockport Regional, it's kind of like we got a second chance at life, a second chance at the postseason. So, like our coach said, we were playing with house money from there, and I think that mentality helped us get to the World Series, helped us get to the championships, and it was an incredible ride.
Well, and it's so crazy the way that your season goes. I mean, there's snow outside when you guys go to Pennsylvania in mid-February.
Right.
It's still basketball season.
Yeah. That's baseball in Cleveland. We talk about it all the time. It's like you don't know if you're going to get a day where you get to practice outside, or we had snow in May last year. I remember cleaning off snow off my car in May. So it's it's a mixed bag. But yeah, we start with 38-degree games in the middle of Indiana or Pennsylvania, and end in Cedar Rapids. So it's quite the journey.
Well, but it was a heck of a turnaround, because you go to Anderson, Indiana, out in Westfield, which is pretty close to the middle of nowhere, and take a left, and then you go home for a week. All right, we'll deal with the Berea weather, which can be its own thing. We're going to go to Florida for a week and play some games, and you guys put up quite a few runs. Was it just because it was warm, the ball was traveling well, or you everybody was able to get theirs?
Yeah, the warm weather definitely helps. Loosen the body up, get the body moving, maybe swing the bat a little harder. But the team was just clicking. I mean, our offense clicked all year, but we really hit our stride in Florida, and ripped off 6 quality wins in Florida that ended up being a major difference in getting a postseason bid. So it was that might be the most fun I've ever had playing baseball down there in Florida. Just hanging with the team and showing up every day, not knowing who you're playing. You're like, man, where's this team from? I've never heard of them, and just go beat them, and it's a lot of fun.
Well, I think Sewanee probably filed a police report for the 23-3 beating you guys put on them.
Yeah, man, those guys. I saw it when it finished up at the end of the year. They had the top 5 strength of schedule in the entire country. So, man, they played a gauntlet. But we had them that day. That's for sure.
I know that the OAC is traditionally just a super tough conference, but something a little bit different. You guys get to go to Akron, and you go there and you beat Akron in 7 innings. With that being a D1, and people can say what they want about different things, but I mean that's a big win for a program on the rise to go in there and win by 15.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, my first year here, 2 years when COVID canceled the season, we played and beat Butler in Florida. Same kind of situation where just walked in and beat them, and it was like that at Akron. We just swung it off the rip. I mean, 17 runs, hey, we just took it to them. That's any given day. That's the great part about baseball, right? Anybody on any field, any day can show up and play.
And then I would be remiss. I mean, you guys played Marietta 4 times. They're ranked number 1 and number 2 in the entire country as that's going on. What's the deal, the Rubik's Cube that they are for you guys?
I mean, they were a great team, incredible all year. I mean, their lineup was stout. I mean, most guys hitting above 350, a lot of guys hitting above 400, and we played them close twice in 2 of those games, and in the other 2, I mean, they just ripped off one big inning, and I think the teams that beat them in the World Series, that's what they avoided. They avoided the one big inning where Marietta ripped off 10 straight hits or 9 straight hits, and either had a 10-run inning or a 9-run inning like they did against us. So that's what they were capable of, and that's what the teams that beat them were able to limit.
And how nerve-wracking was it? You talked about you guys had to wait for an at-large where there's only 8 of those, of sitting and watching the draw and looking kind of score watching of, okay, this championship turned out this way, or however it was, of are we going to be able to get one of those seeds?
Right. Yeah. I mean, after we really didn't know where we stood, right after the conference tournament ended. We thought by getting to the final and in the conference championship. We thought that would be enough, adding a couple extra wins in the tournament. And as it fell, we ended up sitting pretty good with the way some other tournaments shook out. And actually adding 2 more games against Marietta as well as one against Mount Union and one against Otterbein really helped our strength of schedule, which propelled us up the list for a bid.
Well, and then, of course, early on, you get Eastern Connecticut State, who ends up winning the whole thing. You guys kind of same thing where it seemed like 1 or 2 bad plays, 1 inning sort of determines what they're able to do.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they were a quality team. I mean, I think we had a pretty good offensive performance. You know, we had 11 hits, but we only cashed in 3 runs on those 11 hits. So, you know, that tells you they did a good job limiting walks, limiting pitches, and they didn't make any errors. So they free, and you know, we gave them a few free runners, and that's the difference in a game against a team like that.
I know that you have a ton of teammates who are world travelers just by looking at the roster, but you yourself have had a heck of a journey. I mean, just to get to Berea, I forgot about growing up in the South, ending up in New Bremen. You have the time at Ohio State. How did you just decide, all right, you know what, it's still close enough to home. Berea's not that far.
Yeah, it has been quite the baseball journey, playing at a high school in Georgia, playing at New Bremen, and then the fall at Ohio State, and then that summer I played for the Grand Lake Mariners in Salina, which I'm doing again this summer. Excited to start that up soon. But really, I played for them, and at the end of the summer, I knew I wanted to go somewhere where I felt I could contribute to a program and really be a part of a team. And Coach Wells, the New Bremen high school coach, knew Coach Harrison over here at BW, and I went on a visit and just loved the program, loved those 2 coaches they got, and committed that week. Said it was a place for me.
Well, 60 wins in 2 years, I feel like, is a pretty good start.
Oh, yeah. Best decision I've ever made.
How many times when you get to come back home, so to speak, meaning Northwest Ohio, you guys play, obviously, at Ohio Northern every year, every other year. How much family is able to get out to those games?
Oh, a good amount.
It's not like as far either.
No. I mean, I got my parents are always making the trip. My grandparents make the trip when they can, but that's one of the reasons I'm playing another summer even closer to home to get have that ability to have family watch me play. So quite the blessing.
I saw. I'm glad that you talked about your family. Matt Florjanic did a terrific article on you that I laughed hysterically when I read it, about a conversation with your grandpa and yourself about you hitting home runs. How did that go?
Yeah.
Your grandpa seems like a heck of a character.
Oh, he is, and he reminds me about this conversation whenever he gets the chance. But he's always put, he's always expected more out of me than I even expect out of myself. And before the season, he said, I think you're gonna hit 15 home runs. Don't say I'm crazy. And I was like, oh, you're crazy. Like, you're crazy. The school record is 16 in a season. I don't know what you're talking about. And hey, it happened, and he was right. He was actually wrong. I hit 19, but he called it. So credit to him for seeing something maybe I even didn't.
I mean, that's just a heck of a thing. He's just, no big deal. You've hit a handful of home runs in college and, through high school, but I think you're going to hit quite a few home runs and just shatter a school record this year.
Right.
Thanks,
yep.
Grandpa.
Thanks, Grandpa. He believes big, that's for sure.
He's the guy who told Babe Ruth to hit the 2 home runs for the kid in the hospital, too, I think.
Right, yep, he was there.
It's like hitting home runs is a hard thing. No, just go ahead and do it.
Yeah, that's what he said. He always says, even if the pitch is in the other batter's box, you can still go out there and hit it. He's never seen a bad pitch like Yogi Berra.
Unless you pull a Mr. Baseball and you step on the plate, and then you're out.
Right. That's right.
It's so funny. I like I said, I read that to my wife and I laughed about just kind of the way that went. But cool thing for you is that you broke Pat Shannon's record. He was actually there when you did it, right?
Yeah, he was there. He was there at our. So I broke it in the regionals in Brockport, and then he actually drove, I think, 3 hours to our super regional game at Endicott College in Massachusetts to say hi and to watch us play the super regional game. And yeah, I mean, it was incredible. I didn't know he was going to be there. And after the game, I just got to shake his hand, talk with him for a little bit, and take a picture with him. So, that was super special. Shows you how much it means how much BW baseball means to our alumni. So it was awesome.
At what point during the season did you start to think, though, that, I mean, you get into that groove of, okay, I've got a legitimate shot at what Grandpa's talking about?
Yeah, it's something that, like, if you think about, then start to not hit any home runs, something like that. But I hit 2 at Heidelberg in the same game, 2 3-run home runs, and a big win for us at Heidelberg. And I think it was my second multi-home run game of the year. And I was like, the swing started to feel right. I was swinging the bat really well. And, I felt like I could really make a shot at it. And then after the conference tournament, I was like, well, looks like it's coming to an end. And then, hey, three home runs in 3 games at the regional was what it took. So it was just seeing the ball well and putting good swings on it, I guess.
I know that we talked a little bit about Grand Lake with their season getting started a couple of days ago with the exhibition games. They jump in actually tonight as we tape this on Tuesday with Southern Ohio on the road. That's a heck of a schedule that they play. Are you playing the whole thing where you're trying to get as many games in, or are you just kind of what you can do?
Yeah. I'm gonna play as many as I can. I'm packing up to get home and having exit meetings with BW this week, getting that all finalized, and then showing up ready to go. So I'll maybe take a day or two, and I already told the coach I'll be with the team this weekend. So yeah, I'll play whatever needs to happen, but my body feels fine. So
how do those games feel for you as you're approaching? I mean, is it different than college because you want to get reps, you want to continue, you want to stay in baseball shape, or is it a little more of kind of an exhibition with how you look at it?
Yeah, I think it's just more of a Sandlot type feel where you just go out and play the game. You're not a lot of guys play a little bit more stress free in the summers, I think. Just go out and play the kids game, and that's always been my reason for wanting to play summer ball is just to go out there and play for the love of the game and just have fun out there with it. But I think that's the main difference.
Well, one of my favorite games in this league is anytime that Lima plays Grand Lake. It's odd to me, though, that doesn't happen until mid-July. They don't play at all during the first half of the season, and then they play 4 times in 4 days.
Yeah, right. That is. Yeah, we'll see. That's gonna. I guess it'll be a dogfight then, but that is a little strange.
And usually, by that point, that's usually for first or second place in the league.
Right. Yeah.
I would think by looking at it, I've heard a lot of things about a lot of the different places in the league. That's got to be one of those games that nobody has to explain, hey, we have to be up for this. You go to Lima, and just that atmosphere is just something else.
Yeah, it is. I know in 2019, after my freshman year, they had an incredible team, won the league. It was the same thing. We played them close, but they were just good, and those games were I think our most packed of the season, I would say.
I would be remiss if I didn't ask you about New Bremen. The last handful of years, you've obviously seen from kind of both close and from afar what's been going on there with the athletic program. I mean, how over the moon are you for what those kids are doing?
Oh, it's awesome to see. I mean, it's incredible what the run that the football team made. Man, that was awesome to see, and the progress that that the basketball and baseball programs continue to make. It's I think it's a testament to the work the kids put in and then the great coaches they got over there. I think they're still on the rise. So
I think I still have goosebumps from the state championship game of basically them and Van Wert winning a state title from almost the exact same spot on the field in a 3-hour span.
Oh, I know. I was there too, and it was just I'll say it wasn't stressful. That was the best part, but it was an awesome experience to see that success after some long years for the program since I've been here.
Well, and that's what I was going to say, because it kind of a little bit closer to when you got here, they weren't that far removed from not even having football.
Yeah, right. I mean, yeah, when I didn't play. I didn't play football, and that was the rumor. Is it's been not too long where we haven't even had a team, and so to see the state championship run, that makes it even that more special.
Well, I'm excited, obviously, for what you have coming up. I know there's a lot of things to do up there in Berea. My wife is from not that far from there, and there's a lot of really good places to hang out.
Oh yeah, great town, great spot to go to college. Looking forward to my 5th year. Looking forward to back for one last ride.
Well, I wish you great luck this summer and in everything coming up.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate it.
That's Luke Vonderhaar. We'll talk some more here when we come back in just a few minutes. Since 1988, Klosterman Pizza Company at 1017 East Main Street in Van Wert has proudly served the Van Wert area. From pizza to subs to salads, breadsticks, and wings, and even some cookies. Klosterman Pizza has your hunger cured. Order online at klostermanpizza.com or call in your order today at 419-238-9966. Be sure to get your order in on the way home from rooting on the Lancers and get that signature sauce and high-quality mozzarella provolone cheese blend that makes Klosterman Pizza taste so good in your belly today. Open Monday through Thursday 4 to 9, Friday 10:30 a.m. to 1 p.m., and 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. Saturdays 4 to 10, Sunday 4 to 9. That's Klosterman Pizza at 1017 East Main Street in Van Wert. 419-238-9966. Can't say enough good things about Klosterman Pizza. Haven't had yet, plan to. As I was in Middle Point last week and had to hurry back. Didn't get time to go through Van Wert and get a pizza, but thanks to Kevin Price and all the nice folks in Van Wert, in Middle Point, and around Lincoln View for helping out our coverage of high school baseball on WZOQ radio throughout the course of the last couple of months. Just about 12 hours from now, they'll be in the middle of their ball game in Akron. You can hear that on WZOQ radio. The early game at 10 o'clock, if you're listening to this on the way to Akron, with Newark Catholic and Russia, will be on K94 out of Salina. If you can get a chance to tune in, hit me up on Twitter, Facebook, whatever. Let me know how you think that it's going. But thank you so much for listening to this program and helping to keep it alive. Thanks to Luke Vonderhaar and to Kevin Phlipot as well, as they talk about baseball. And we wrap up the season on Saturday. D4 finals at 10 a.m., either on K94 or on WZOQ radio as well. But thanks for listening, and thanks for supporting this all spring long. Legion Baseball, a lot during this summer run. You can hear it on WZOQ radio and a lot of things as we just sit just in front of 2 months from kicking off the fall season. I already can't believe it. Have a great night and an even better tomorrow.
We hope you've enjoyed this edition of Around the Hearn. Come back next week for more local stories from the NWO. But until then, be sure to follow us on Twitter at Michael Hearn PBP for more great area content.